Hi everyone, and welcome to Inclusivity Down Under, Australian Accessible Adventures. My name is Ashley, and I'm the General Manager at Accessible Accommodation. We are going to start with some air travel trips. As you would be aware, Australia is an island, and so the only way to get here is to fly, which can be daunting for people with additional access requirements. And so we'll go over some tips and tricks to make that a more enjoyable experience. Some things that you need to consider. What mobility equipment are you going to be travelling with? And are you able to travel with that equipment on your own, or will you need some additional assistance? Most Australian airlines can provide assistance with getting you to the gate, boarding and disembarking the aircraft, or getting you to your seat if you can't walk down the aisle. It is important to let the airline know ahead of time that you require this service so that they can ensure that there are staff around. And you also need to let them know if you are bringing battery operated equipment. You need to do this well in advance, as you might need some additional authorities to enable you to bring those batteries on board. You need to consider how you'll handle your luggage and equipment, and plan your bathroom breaks, which is a big one. Australian aircraft do not have accessible toilets. There is often a aisle chair on board during the flight, but it's always best to check this in advance as well. The airline staff, if there is a aisle chair on board the aircraft during your flight, the airline staff can get this out for you so that then you can navigate the aircraft to access the bathroom, but you will need to be able to transfer on and off the toilet on your own. It's also a good idea to bring a pressure relief cushion if skin protection is a concern for you. Long haul flights, sitting on uncomfortable airline chairs can be hazardous when it comes to skin protection. Some trips for travelling by car once you get to Australia, once you've made it off the aircraft. Many Australian car hire companies do have accessible vehicles for hire. Again, do your research on this before arriving to ensure that the vehicle and the accommodations that you'll need will be available. Private drivers with accessible vehicles are also a great alternative, and you need to ensure that the vehicle you're hiring is big enough to carry both your luggage and any equipment that you're bringing. Public transport options are often wheelchair accessible in Australia. You can check the public transport schedules ahead of time to ensure that the vehicle will be wheelchair accessible. I know particularly in Melbourne, where I'm from, there has been great advancements in the accessibility of our trams and trains, but you will still find stops that are not accessible, and so it's best to be prepared, as always. Wheelchair taxis are also available in most cities. And again, as always, pre-booking to avoid disappointment is advisable. The all-important accommodation. Trying to find accommodation that meets your needs can be overwhelming. But being prepared and doing your research can ensure that your trip goes without any issues. You do need to be aware that many booking platforms will say that a room is accessible, but everybody's needs differ, and what their definition of accessibility is might not meet what your definition is. Our website offers accommodation tailored to suit your mobility needs. Our listings are filled with helpful photos, videos, and 50 frequently asked questions so that you can make the decision as to whether that particular property will meet your needs. We know that no two disabilities are the same, in that light, we have developed an accreditation program for accommodations that believe they offer accessibility, and we differentiate them into 3 different categories. Level 1 is an assisted walking category, and this is for people who are part-time wheelchair users or use a walking frame or a walking stick. They require step-free access, and grab rails in showers are beneficial for them. Then we move on to level 2, which is an independent wheelchair user. That is somebody who uses a wheelchair full time but is able to transfer themselves in and out of that wheelchair. They will require, again, step-free access, grab rails. They'll need a shower chair. They'll need somewhere to sit when they're in the shower, and they'll need a roll under sink. Photos of all of these pieces of equipment, the shower chairs and the grab rails, can be found on our website for each individual listing as well, so that you can decide whether those items will meet your needs. Level 3 properties are suited for assisted wheelchair users. That is somebody who uses a wheelchair full-time and needs the assistance of either a carer or equipment to transfer in and out of that chair. They will benefit from an electric high-low bed and a mobile hoist, and these items will be found on site. You won't need to hire that equipment. Toilets, public toilets. Most public toilets do have accessible options, and the Australian National Public Toilet Map has over 19,000 public toilets listed, letting you know whether the ones near you will have an accessible option. Changing places toilets are, in addition to regular accessible toilet, they are larger than the standard accessible toilets and provide people with a disability and high support needs access to suitable, safe and private bathroom facilities. These toilets will have adult changing stations. They will have ceiling hoists, as well as a shower. Many changing places toilets require an MLAC key to enter. This is a universal key for all of the changing places toilets, and international visitors can apply for a key online and have it delivered to an Australian address. When applying for the key, you will need to upload a letter from your local doctor attesting to the fact that you have a physical disability and will need to access the toilets. Beaches. Australian beaches are some of the best in the world, and I'm happy to say that a lot of them are becoming more and more accessible to people with mobility needs. In saying that, not all beaches are accessible. We have a blog on our website with tips and details about accessible beaches and beach wheelchair hire that can assist you, and there are websites dedicated to telling people all about the wonderful accessible beaches that we have on offer here. We have beaches that have access matting. This matting is sometimes available all year round, but then at other beaches it will only be available during patrolled months. So it's best to do your research to avoid disappointment. Beach wheelchairs are also available from many local councils and surf lifesaving clubs to enable you to enjoy the water. Our sister site, Accessible Experiences, because when you come to Australia, you want to be able to see all that we have to offer and plan your trips. Making sure that the experience that you're looking at will meet your access needs. You can use our website to ensure that the experience you are looking at will be enjoyable for you and your mobility needs. Mobility maps. Most councils will have mobility maps on their websites, and these maps provide information to assist visitors to plan their stay and move around safely. If you need help booking accommodation and experiences right across Australia, our websites are the go-to websites for these services. As mentioned, we have photos and more photos of every property and what they offer. We ensure that we get photos of toilets and bathrooms that would not necessarily be put on a website's that would not necessarily be put on a property's own website, as well as video tours showing you the space in real time. We have over 50 frequently asked questions on every single listing, from the width of doorways to the heights of the bed. And we are available with any questions that you might have about those properties as well. Our staff all have either lived experience of a physical disability or as the carer to somebody with a physical disability. And so we understand the need for additional preparation. We understand that you'll have more questions than most people. And we understand the importance of getting correct and reliable information to those questions. We understand that if you turn up to an accommodation for the night and there's a step to get in, that is going to be, we understand how problematic that will be for your trip. So you can contact us via phone on 1300 180 889. You can email us at inquiry@theaccessiblegroup.com, and you can find us at www.accessibleaccommodation.com, as well as www.accessibleexperiences.com, and we have properties and experiences available across Australia. I hope that this has been informative for you, and if you have any questions, do please reach out. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope to see you in Oz.